Hello, this is the Bible in Fewer Words. We are Carol and Steve Wells. This is episode 23, Exodus, chapter 1 and 2. Hi,
Wow.
Steve.
Hi, Carol. It's pretty exciting. We're starting a new book.
Yes, we've exited Genesis.
Yes,
and we're
we
entering
have.
Exodus.
Yeah.
Say that 5 times fast.
Uh-huh.
So
I don't think we need to, Joseph died in the last chapter.
yeah, the family is settled in Egypt.
They're all in Egypt, yeah. And now we're going to be moving on, and we'll see what happens.
Great. Chapter 1. 70 members of Jacob's family moved to Egypt. After arriving, they increased abundantly.
Yes. Yeah, we don't know how abundantly they increased, but later on we will find out an actual number. And they started out with 70.
Yes.
And I remember last time I was going to count and see, because I left out some of that.
Okay.
And I
Oh,
went
yes.
back and counted all the sons of Jacob, and it turned out that it was 70. Actually 72, but if you don't count Jacob and you don't count Joseph, then there were 70.
Yeah.
Although 69 of them were male, and there's only one female.
What are the chances of that?
Well, it did mention, there were wives and daughters, but they didn't count them. They all the souls was 70. So I guess that maybe
Oh my God.
maybe women weren't included as souls, except for Dinah. Dinah was included.
I tell you, this whole not thinking women are valued citizens goes back a long way.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And, women produced life and made those other souls.
Yeah.
Okay,
you could probably go on and on.
Yes,
about
I
that.
can, but I won't.
But there were 70 that went to Egypt, and now there's a whole bunch, I guess. They've increased abundantly.
Okay.
Okay, verse 8. There was a new king of Egypt who didn't know Joseph. He worried that the Israelites were getting too numerous and powerful, so he enslaved and mistreated them.
The king told the Hebrew midwives, whose names were Shiphrah and Puah, to kill all newborn males. But they said to him, "The Hebrew women are lively, and they deliver their babies before we can get there." So God treated the midwives well and built houses for them to live in. He's a nice guy, that God.
Yeah.
Then the Pharaoh ordered the people to cast all their newborn sons into the river.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
Imagine being a midwife, just wishing that little girls are born so you didn't have to kill them.
Yeah.
That is awful.
And it's strange, too. This is the slaves that were working for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's strange that he would want to kill them. They'd be very valuable. And
So
if
he's worried about their numbers.
they're getting too numerous. The 70 has now become very numerous. This is supposed to be about 300 or 400 years later,
So,
after Joseph died.
so you think he's worried about a revolution and, they're going to take over?
It doesn't say, but it just seems strange that he'd be worried about having so many slaves. And if he really was worried about it, he shouldn't be killing the males. He should
No.
be killing the females.
Yes, he should. Great.
Well, no, I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to cut down the herd
Population.
size, you would kill the females. Because the males are pretty useless without females.
Yeah, and other times too.
But the midwives didn't obey him. So the Pharaoh ordered the people to cast all their newborn sons into the river.
Okay, so the midwife isn't going to kill all the sons, but the moms are supposed to.
Well, I don't. It doesn't really say who was going to throw them into the river, but somebody is going to throw them into the river instead of the midwives killing them. The baby boys, were going to be thrown into the river. So that's the plan,
All right.
and that's the end of chapter 1.
Well, that was a fun one.
Uh-huh.
Exodus, looks promising in excitement.
Yeah.
Chapter 2. A man and a woman, both from the tribe of Levi, had a son. His mother hid him for 3 months. Then she put him in an ark and floated him down the river. Pharaoh's daughter found the ark and said, "This is a Hebrew child."
I wonder how she'd know that.
I wonder.
Well, it's a little boy, so maybe because he was circumcised.
Uh-huh. And maybe because he was in the river.
Yeah,
They were being
of course
ordered.
It's a Hebrew child. All the kids floating down the river were Hebrew boys, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true. And he may have been darker skinned.
Maybe. Well,
Yeah.
lighter skinned, probably.
Oh, lighter skinned.
Than the Egyptians.
Oh, yeah. You're right. And we have here that I see you put in parentheses a name that I didn't.
You didn't read it.
I didn't read it.
And the reason why I have it in parentheses is because it isn't said in the Bible.
At all?
It is, but not in that verse.
Okay.
It takes a while for them to actually identify who this baby is.
Okay. Do we want to say?
I think we can, and people have probably guessed.
His name is?
Moses.
Moses. All right. So the Pharaoh's daughter is saying, "This is a Hebrew child."
Yeah, she found him.
Okay.
Supposedly she was bathing in the river.
By herself.
No, I don't think by herself. I think she probably, well, I don't know if it says, but she was supposedly bathing in the river, which seems kind of unlikely for the daughter of the Pharaoh to be. It seems kind of a dangerous thing for her to be doing, and
Yep.
mucking around in the river.
Especially since, there are so many Israelites and they're dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people are kind of in a state, kind of distraught that they have to drown their little boys. Yeah. And it's her dad who's ordering that. Okay, we'll go on.
Yeah.
We're going to go on. The baby sister, another name in parentheses, Miriam, happened by and said to Pharaoh's daughter, "Should I find a Hebrew woman to nurse him?" And the Pharaoh's daughter said, "Yes." So she went to find her mother. So her and Moses' mother, whose name was Jochebed. Pharaoh's daughter said to Jochebed, "Nurse him for me. I'll pay you for it." Seems kind of weird that it's her own son and that she's going to get paid for that.
It's kind of cool, though.
Kind of a
isn't it?
good
Yeah.
deal, yes. So Miriam and Jochebed took Moses away and nursed him. After Moses was weaned, his mother returned him to Pharaoh's daughter, who adopted him as her son and gave Moses his name. She named Moses?
She named Moses, and it's strange because Moses is a Hebrew name. I think it means something about taking him out of the river or something, finding him in the river. But maybe it was a Hebrew kid, so she decided to give him a Hebrew name.
Okay.
Verse 11. When Moses was grown, he killed an Egyptian who was smiting a Hebrew after making sure no one was looking. The next day, Moses saw two Hebrews fighting, and he said, "Why are you smiting this man?" The man who was doing the smiting said to Moses, "Who made you a prince to judge us? Are you going to kill us too, like you did the Egyptian?" So Moses knew that his murder was not well hidden. When Pharaoh heard about it, he decided to kill Moses. But Moses fled to the land of Midian. When he arrived, he sat down by a well.
Oh,
Another
another
well
well.
scene, yeah.
Yes. So I want to go back to that. He's murdering people kind of on the side,
Yeah, he is.
trying to protect his people.
I think so, yeah. But it looks like it was definitely a murder. I mean, there was a guy that was mistreating a Hebrew, but he just murdered him when nobody was looking.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's kind of putting himself at risk a little bit here.
Yeah, and he knows he's in trouble, so now he's fled to Midian.
Okay. While Moses was sitting at the well in Midian, 7 sisters came to get water. It's a good place to meet women.
It really is.
Some shepherds tried to drive the sisters away, but Moses intervened and helped them water their flock. Aha.
The sisters told their father, Reuel, I'm not sure you pronounce that, about the Egyptian who helped them at the well. He told his daughters to invite him to dinner. So Moses went to dinner, and Reuel gave Moses his daughter Zipporah. And she had a son named Gershom.
Okay. that is the end
That
of
is the
chapter
end.
2.
Yeah.
Okay, so our first episode in Exodus.
Yeah, we just met Moses.
Yeah.
He's
And
going to
the-
be with us for a while. The first 5 books of the Bible are called the books of Moses because he supposedly wrote them all.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, most Bible scholars think that's pretty unlikely, but that's the way they're often referred to.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for sticking with us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.